welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. This is the indicator analysis that it supports our deep analysis from yesterday, of course, where we're gonna see what the indicators tells us based on those scenarios, possibilities between bearish and bullish. Now, what I would just like to mention here that yesterday, yes, we have broken our corrective channel, the blue line, as you can see. We have broken decisively. And of course, it is now still, a probability for testing it. But yeah, we are looking for lower prices a little bit. However, something happened as well there. So we're gonna check it on the 1 hour chart before we move directly to our indicators. So if we move to the 1 hour chart to check much closer what's gonna happen. So as per our deep analysis, we said in this area we are in one of these two scenarios, whereas a 1, 2, then 3, 4, 5 finished a wave A or a wave 1. Then we are looking for 2 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possibly. Or we are looking for a finished wave A, B, and a C, okay? Where your wave A has already finished here in 3 waves. And in 3 waves down, 3 waves up, you only need 5 waves down. And now in this impulse yesterday, so if we dive even a little bit closer in the 15-minute chart to see much closer what's going on. So after we topped here for a wave B, we are looking for a finished impulse, right? And this impulse might be your wave 1 or your wave A. However, if this is your wave 1 and you got a wave 2 already, and then you got one more zigzag towards the upside because this now wave 4 has went out of your acceleration channel. It doesn't mean that, of course, we are not looking for lower prices. It means that this might transform into a contracting diagonal. And by all means, we are talking here about 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This could be your contracting diagonal where you have almost hit the perfect fib level for a wave 4 and went deeper to a 0.5 regarding an impulse. If you are an impulse here, 1, 2, 3, 4, you have hit the 0.5 fib level, which is a very, very deep fib for a wave 4. However, if we are looking for a wave 5 here as contracting diagonal, that might, of course, bring us to something else. If we have finished a contracting diagonal here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that means it is very possible that we finished 3 waves down, and then 3 waves up, and 5 waves down, finishing almost on the 1-to-1 fib level, taken of course from the start here of to the end, and then of course giving us a 1-to-1 fib level at 67,000. And by all means, you finished a 3 corrective structure, so that might bring us again for higher prices, where we are looking, of course, here at A, B, and a C, finishing, of course, around this area. You might go up, back, of course, because, yeah, it might still play as a big 1, 2, and a triple 1, 2. However, don't forget that we still need to retest our corrective channel in that case, if we are going back towards the upside. So if it's gonna go into a wave 5 and going back towards the upside, so it might happen that it cannot continue. So after trying to break it, it might create another 3 waves up and then continuation towards the downside. And in that case scenario, it's gonna transform this to a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then of course continuation towards the downside, guys. So the scenarios are the following. Now, if we don't get the low here, and if we use this acceleration channel as a support, and it goes back much deeper, that it would be very, very normal, because in your contracting diagonal, if this is your wave 1 here, bottom, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, if your wave 4 is not finished yet, your wave 4 might still go up as a zigzag, hitting the perfect level again, interfering with your zone 1 perfectly, and then moving one more wave 5 towards the downside to finish a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And yeah, in this case scenario, guys, we might see, of course, some move up and down prices. So it's still not really very impulse towards the downside, because this impulse was interrupted. This wave 4 went out of the acceleration channel, and we saw, of course, a slower momentum now a little bit, right? Because as you can see, bigger wave 1, smaller wave 3. And that brings us into a contracting diagonal shape. So let's go dive deep into the indicators and see what the indicators says. Now, starting with my indicator here on the daily chart. On the daily chart, we can see that the highest or strongest bearish signal has appeared exactly on the top. After your wave 3 and your wave 4, we did not see any strong bearish signal until this top. And that means, of course, that a structure has ended here definitely. And we are looking to a very strong one after having the strongest bullish signal, of course, at the 174 candle. And that means in the past of 174 candles in the past, this was the strongest bullish signal, right? And if we go even higher, and of course after readjusting my script here, this signal was given at 230 candles, right? So this is a much stronger signal than your last bullish one, and it might, of course, tells us that one of these scenarios are happening. Whether it is a very deep wave 2 towards the downside after having a diagonal 1 and 2, or a bearish scenario where you are looking for a wave Y in WXY. One of these scenarios, this signal tells us that it might happen. Now, of course, it's not necessarily that always it can be like this, because market can change any day, any time, at any minute even. So we might still see even like a very strong bullish signal maybe today, tonight. After dipping a little bit more, we might see a very strong bullish signal, and then moving up as 111.2s again, right? So, and that's why I always use Elliott waves, to be always secured and to know what are the possibilities. In case we get a very strong signal here as well, okay, then we are still in 111.2s, right? So these are the things. So if we look also at the 1 hour chart here, since we are looking, of course, for lower prices. However, now we are looking that, okay, a strong signal on the 1 hour chart has appeared since the top here after your wave B, since the start of your downtrend, okay? This is a strong signal. However, it's not stronger than the bearish, but still a strong. So it might tell us something happening here, where we might start to see some reversal maybe, or some higher prices, of course, after getting the low. Now, once we get the low, of course, we're gonna see another bullish signal stronger than this one, because the more lower you go, the more stronger this bullish signal becomes. However, this means we have started to see some support, or like resistance, resisting the downtrend. So these are the things. Now, of course, looking at our 1 hour chart, if you remember, this might turn into a diagonal, right? So this resistance that we are looking at, where we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly finishing a diagonal here, if we get a very strong bullish signal after taking this low, if we have a very strong bullish signal, especially on the indicators that we saw, then definitely we are looking for higher prices. And then because you have finished a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and by all means you have finished a 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very, very close to 67,000. Yeah, to finish, of course, a zigzag, a correction, whatever it is 3 waves towards the downside. And that means you have finished, of course, in 5 waves, and then you are looking to retest, possibly to retest your correction channel, maybe failing and maybe breaking up again. Nobody knows. Of course, the market can change at any time, any minute, guys, and that's why this channel is there to to receive and send you always what's going on as news and updates. So after our KGT, we want to look now into our volume here. The volume, what does the volume say on the 15-minute chart? Well, it's a very weird volume, to be honest, because it says that your wave 3 has finished on the very high amount of volume. That's fine. However, after having wave 4 and trying to dive in your wave 5, you get, again, the highest amount of volume, which is less a little bit than your wave 3. And this is an indication that your wave 5 has ended without taking the low. More signals is that we went outside the channel here, and we are ranging outside it, which is not supposed to be. This is a weakness signal for a bearish. And now, as we said, we might, of course, use this channel as a support and then move towards the upside. However, this doesn't mean that your contracting diagonal has finished. This means that potentially your wave 4 did not finish yet because it did not dive deeply anyway inside your wave 1 zone, which is the yellow line. We need to touch as well the yellow line here for your wave 4 to say that this is a perfect diagonal towards the downside. After having a wave 4, you want to seek for a wave 5 to finish it. So this is regarding the volume for now on the 15-minute chart. I think, on the 1 hour chart is going to show the same. As you can see, high amount of volume on your wave 3. And then higher amount again for your wave 5. Possibly finishing here. Possibly, of course, finishing already there with a 1 more low and then moving up again. Let's move to the RSI, guys. In the RSI, what we can see is here a very important signal on the 4 hour chart. Let me turn off everything to see clearly. Here we go. So on the 4 hour chart, we are looking at a very important signal here, which is bullish. 1 lower low, higher low, and then on the RSI a higher low and then a lower low, which is a divergence, right? A perfect divergence between the RSI and the price action, which is telling us that we might reverse at any time from now. And I believe once this RSI on the 4 hour chart is gonna hit the oversold area, taking 1 more low as a contracting diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finishing A, B, and a C, then for your A, and then a wave B here, and 5 waves towards the downside to finish, of course, 3 corrective waves. And when you finish 3 corrective waves, that means, of course, you are looking again for higher prices. So, yes, these might be the things. This is what RSI tell us. Very, very important indication here for the 4 hour chart. Now, on the 1 hour chart, if we take a look as well, yes, we can see also some divergence as well. Well, not so strong, but now it will become very strong. So once you take the low on the 1 hour chart, okay, you will see some conversions here as well. Yeah. Now, of course, this is gonna move even down, but once it touches, of course, the oversold area with the conversions here, also it may tells you this is a kind of an exhaustion in selling. So this is a RSI, of course. Now, of course, the strongest signal is your 4-hour chart, where it shows something really strong. Let's move to the MACD. On the MACD, we are looking to something, also interesting. Starting on the 1-hour chart, of course, as you might see, we are moving inside or in the lower side of the MACD, below zero, with a trend, right, for the last hour since the top here, right, almost since the top. And that might be, of course, a little bit more lower prices. However, the volume here has started to shrink. As you can see, it's going lower and lower. Now, of course, how much low it can go here? Well, I don't know if it's gonna make a bigger wave here, and even if it's gonna pass this. If it does, of course, then we are in a bigger bearish scenario. And that scenario might be, of course, a big impulse towards the downside. However, so far, the indicator says there is some exhaustion in the selling, and we might still see maybe a potential retracement towards the upside, and I think it's gonna retest the correction channel. This is for the 1 hour. At the 4-hour chart, here we go, we see a very deep dive inside the 4-hour chart with your volume, and your trend is still very, very open, right? So it suggests like a very, very strong bearish trend, right? Because even the both lines are still very open. We don't see any potential cross or bullish cross. However, don't forget that this can happen at any time. Sometimes MACD can lag, sometimes can give a false signal. It can reverse at any time, guys. However, on the 4-hour chart, we are looking to a higher volume of sellers getting in, of course, but also from the last time, we are looking as well at higher volume of buyers. Therefore, it's still not a very clear signal, to be honest, and this might start to turn at any time. So these are the things for now, and on the daily chart we can see that we start with a very strong signal, bearish signal on the daily, where we are looking to the bearish cross, right? We are looking for a red candle even for the bearish. However, it doesn't mean that we cannot retest our correction channel, okay, and then moving back down. So be careful with it. That might be simply liquidations, guys. So that is the thing, creating FOMOs and traps, getting to a correction, liquidate everyone, and then continue toward the downside. Okay. So these are the things, guys, that it might be unfolding for the next. For the next thing. One more scenario I would like to talk about it here as Elliott wave, guys. If we get even one more, one more low here, it's a little bit hard to call it as, it can be at 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, where your wave 4 did not interfere with your zone 1, because this is a part of your WXY, okay? So that also still opening a scenario where you're having a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5, finishing a wave 5, of course, with a contracting diagonal. And that means this might be a 1 and 2, and that's why we might retest our correction channel with a wave 2. Okay, just to let you know how the things can work regarding this, right? So we're gonna see that. Again, on the 1 hour chart, I'm gonna label this to make it much more clear. So that was for MACD. Now let's take a look at the Bollinger Band. The Bollinger Band tells us, of course, they are already in the lower bands on the 1 hour chart. It is kind of already extended, and then we are looking for another drop. We are very close again to stretch against this lower band even deeper. It looks very, very bearish, guys. However, don't forget, this is a scenario that I'm talking about it, that we might finish a 5 waves, touching now the lower band again, and then moving up to the mid at least, yeah, or even, yeah, if this is gonna be there as a support, so as a resistance, it might be your wave 2 and then continuation towards the downside. And this is your, this is your kind of trajectory as well for your resistance in the next trend, right? So you have 2 resistance that you might have here, A, B, and a C, right? Perfect, how to say, positioning for a wave 2, right? So these are the things that I think that it might unfold in the next hours, guys. So let's go back to the 1 hour to label our last scenario that we just talked about. So another last scenario is that we might still have one more low. We cannot consider this channel anymore because, of course, this is not an impulse anymore, since the wave 4 is ranging outside and your wave 3 is shorter than your wave 1. Therefore, we are looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially finishing 1 and 2, and then 3, 4, and 5. Where, of course, you have an impulse here because your wave 4 did not reach your wave 1. This is not your wave 1. This is your wave 1, which is a contracting diagonal, and then W, X, and Y. However, let's label this, guys, that we might have finished here. So it was a question mark. As you can see now, it might be unfolding, right? It was a question mark before, so now I'm gonna, put it there. 1, 2, and then 3, then 4, then 5, finishing already here. So this was the other scenario where you might have a deeper price action. However, now it is a very low one. So I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna just stick with these ones here, and I'm gonna keep the white. I'm gonna remove the yellow. So we might finish here, guys, exactly finishing an ABC as well, and then trying. It could be it could be an ABC as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At the same time, it could be an ABC, but it's much more potential as a bearish. However, we are still looking for higher prices after getting the low, to be honest. I don't see yet a very, very deep one because, because of the channel again. And if we take the channels here, for this, if in case that this is a 1, 2 here, okay, we need to break, of course, this trend here. So if we take our channel taken here based on the wave 2, we still have a long way to say that we are impulsive towards the downside. So by all means, you want to break even, this acceleration channel, hit here to say, okay, we might be in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towards the downside and break it. So it's a little bit, it's a little bit hard to say. So far, of course, we need some price action and some confirmation. So that was it for the indicators. I hope that you like it. And of course, to recap one more last time, we are in these possibilities as A, B, and a C, okay, and then 3 corrective waves, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finishing a wave C, okay. In that case scenario, you are looking for higher prices. Another scenario is you might be in 1, 2 for WXY, 3, 4, and a 5 as contracting a diagonal. Your wave 4 did not interfere with your wave 1. Of course, I don't have to explain it again. However, this might work as 1 and 2, and then, of course, continuation towards the downside. By all means, after getting the low here, you might see higher prices in both case scenarios. One of them is a wave 2 as bearish continuation. The second one is bullish, where you have ABC, and you want to see a broken daily channel, corrective channel if you remember, we want to see a broken corrective channel. If we break this channel again, we might enter the zone of a bullish scenario one more time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.